Welcome to another episode of Pilots Say What, where we get to hear what pilots have to say. And today we'll be talking with Nick. And my name is Zach. I'm your host weekly on this podcast. And if you guys are listening and you check in regularly every week, be sure to subscribe. That really helps out the channel. And if you're on a streaming platform, of course, hit some sort of rating for us or a like, because that also pushes our content a little further. But let's just jump straight into it. Nick, we haven't talked to you before. Could you give us a brief introduction of yourself?
Hello, my name's Nick Bowman. I'm currently waiting for my commercial check ride, and I'm really enjoying my time at Thrust. Very efficient, very quick, and if you put the work in, you will definitely see results. And I'm, living from the fruits of that, so it's going really well. From San Antonio, Texas, came up to Dallas 2 months ago.
Okay.
And came in with my instrument rating. I was up for check ride at my last program in Georgetown and North Austin, Georgetown, Texas. And they gave me a 2.5 month wait on the instrument check ride, and I wasn't flying in between. It's not like here to where you can go back seat or just stay in the game, stay in the know. So I was just kind of waiting, and didn't want to do that because you don't fly for a while, you get rusty. And so I had a couple friends who were up here, and they always recommended it to me, and it sounded way too good to be true and how quick everything moves here. I was like, yeah, whatever, dude. Like, it's no way you're getting through everything you're saying you're getting through this fast. Like, I'll believe it when I see it. And I finally got the 2.5 month wait, and I was just like, you know what? Like, let me go see what this is about. And came in, and it was really easy. I was flying 6-packs over there, no AC, nothing. They were like nice planes. Like I thought were nice, and then I came here and I was just like, oh my god, like you guys got air conditioning out here, like it's.
To be fair, most people don't have AC. I think we kind of went a little above there.
It's top notch quality aircraft. So learning the G1000 was a little difficult. Took like maybe 7 flights to be like confident and like flying it solo and whatnot. But after I got that done, I just had to come in, and I think I had 14 hours I had to make up to qualify, switching 141 programs to take my EOC here. Everything was smooth. Now like I said, I'm waiting for my commercial check ride, and I got through the training in like a little over a month, and that was like unheard of at the place I came from. And I told my buddies that are still there who were at the same level as me, and they just took their instrument check ride. Like I think I was done. I started Thrust in April, and I was up for check ride for instrument at the last place, and I was done like late March, and they told me my check ride would be like end of June. And so it was like almost 3 months, and I was just like, no, it was like 2.5 ish. I was like, dude, I'm not waiting that long. And then now my buddies that just took their instrument check ride, I'm up for my commercial. So now they got to go through
a whole rating ahead,
whole thing. And then PPL over there took 10 months and I was getting like 10 hours a month, maybe average. And over here, I'm hearing people say like, yeah, I got my PPL in a month or 2 months, whatever. And I'm just like, dang, dude, like I could be done.
And that's a part 141. So, I mean, they're not going for accelerated, are they? It seems
it's advertised an accelerated program, but it was not.
Okay, because PPL in 10 months for an accelerator. I mean, PPL private is difficult.
It definitely is. For sure. Planes are in good condition, but if there was a convective segment over us or like clouds, like they wouldn't file and go above or file and get out and go to somewhere nice to do the maneuvers like we do here sometimes. And just because it was a big hassle, like filing and just like, oh, we'll cancel fly tomorrow. Oh, the weather's bad. Okay, we'll cancel fly tomorrow again. And then, but here, like it's safe, like you file IFR, go to where it's clean, cancel your clearance, and then do what you need to do, and then come back in. And we do that a lot, and you can just go even whenever the weather is bad, or not like bad, like
But we make sure that if there's a way, then we go.
If there's a way, we can do it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
safety is a big deal. So I think we take that pretty serious. But that being said, we take your training serious. We advertise that we like get people through a 9 to 12 months of training,
and you're true to that. And
I appreciate that. I mean, hey, good luck on the future. You still gotta get through the rest. Who knows? So I think some people take a little longer than others. But I will say though that like that's a part of it. That's what it takes. We have to like do those little things that say fly them every chance they get, as long as it's safe.
So yeah, and that's really everything here is so efficient, safe. Like, it's
Well, I'm glad
amazing.
you're being welcomed, and that it's like
Yeah,
it's refreshing for you. That's what it sounds like.
yeah, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
planes are top notch. It's 100 degrees here. Like,
Hmm.
not turn the AC on, everything's cool, and it's
I'm
nice.
gonna back up a little bit and ask you a few more questions about you. Um, First one will be, what is one thing that you think people should know about you in order to kind of understand you? Like if someone knows this one thing about you, you feel like they kind of get you. What, and it could be anything, maybe not aviation related.
Okay.
Kind of broad, but
Yeah, no worries. I guess I'm like if you want it, go get it. It's not just gonna come to you. Like, you got to put the work in to receive what you're trying to receive. It's not just gonna be given to you on a golden platter,
hmm
and you gotta take the extra few steps necessary to get your goals done. And especially with aviation, like, there's so much you have to know, so much you have to train for. Like, unless you put the work in, you're never gonna experience what you need to.
yeah,
Like, get to that airlines like everybody wants to. Like, it's
exactly.
not just gonna, oh, I'm just gonna go get a couple hours and
Yeah,
no, you have to study, you have to memorize everything, you have to have good environment around you to like, you can't go party all the time like you want to. Like, you have to
uh-huh.
make those decisions of like, I'm gonna stay home tonight. I'm not gonna go out with my buddies and
Right.
have a couple beers. Just like,
Yeah.
I got stuff to do. So
Yeah.
you gotta really lock in. And I
Mhm.
guess I'm a lock in kind of guy. I don't know. Like,
Yeah. No, I mean, I can imagine from the way you're saying that, and I think anyone who comes to thrust, they're ready. Well, if they're not ready to lock in, they learn that
yeah,
they gotta be.
that's one thing with how quick stuff moves here. You have to be on your game
Mhm.
because it's great to go to an accelerated program, but if you're not cut out for that accelerated
Pace.
program, the
Yeah.
pace, yeah, then you know. That being said, though, you can move at your own pace,
hmm
but
hmm
if you want to be quick, then you got to move. You got to study. You got to really be on your game.
That's really cool that that it's not you're not gonna be waiting on the program.
Hmm.
You can move fast if you want to move fast.
Yeah, for
So
sure. I've heard some crazy numbers of people like
yeah.
pretty much living here. Like,
Yeah.
I heard of a guy who's like had a nice van, and
Yeah.
he slept in the parking lot in
Yeah.
his
He did van life.
yeah, van
Yeah.
life, and then
Yeah.
he flew. Like, he flew like 2 or 3 times a day, and then just went home in the parking lot, and then woke up the next day, did it again.
Yeah,
And he
man.
got, I think he said, instrument in like 11 days or something,
That
because he's
sounds
flying like
wild.
2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Like, if you can, like, you want to, you can. Like,
Yeah.
and you can do that here, and it's great.
Yeah, yeah. We have the resources, and we try to make sure that that's consistent.
Yeah,
Of course, there's always weather and planes and
yeah,
this,
yeah,
but nonetheless,
yeah. If it's available, you can take it.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, I like that. You being someone who feels like you have to take ownership of what you want. That probably played a lot into you searching for another school to go to,
Yeah.
maybe, or being okay with switching schools because
Hmm.
it's not an easy decision,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Are there people? Do you think like do you have friends that still maybe are at the school before, or maybe dropped out of that school because maybe they didn't pivot?
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
There's one of my friends. She moved from like Ohio, I'm pretty sure, to the school that I was previously at
Mm-hmm.
because it was advertised so nicely. And, oh, you're PPL to MEI in 12 to 18 months, and then
Mm-hmm.
she's on month 7 of her instrument rating, and it's like, okay, well, am I going to get the other 7 ratings I need to get in 4 months?
Wow.
Like, and she just took her instrument check ride like 2 days ago,
Oh.
and we were at the same exact level, and now I'm already waiting for the next rating.
Yeah.
So, like, and me and her text a lot. She's like, hey, how's your training going? Like, oh, I'm waiting for my commercial check ride. She's like, dude, I literally just took my instrument and I haven't
Yeah.
even started doing
Yeah.
all the new commercial maneuvers and whatnot. I'm like, well, dang, like,
Yeah.
I told you should come with me up to Dallas. And yeah,
Was part of it was part of it the weight on the DPE?
yeah, DPE
Mostly.
weight, yeah. Mhm.
The reason I asked that is because are you familiar with what we have going on called examining authority,
Mhm.
right? Because I'm sure you're scheduled to work with the EOC.
Mhm.
For our viewers and our listeners, we have examining authority at Thrust, which is something that the FAA, with close oversight, grants us to have, which allows us to train a few of our CFIs up and make sure that they understand certain standards that the FAA has, and we're able to basically do in-house check rides.
Mhm.
So sometimes we'll still work with DBEs, but we also have the added benefit of having
Yeah,
the EOCs.
and that cuts out significant time.
Exactly. You don't have to wait on the third party scheduling. Now, our CFIs that are, granted the power to be able to pass you and give you your certification at different ratings. Now they have to be certified by the FAA as well. So it's still like a third party regulation.
Mm-hmm.
No one's just in here like passing their own students, because
Mm-hmm.
every check ride goes still through the FAA in
Mm-hmm.
some level.
And
Yeah.
with that being said, the person that gave me my instrument EOC definitely grilled me, and it wasn't easy. So
hmm
like,
Well, we that one benefit to having one of the instructors do your actual check ride is that um they have a vested interest in your training as well.
mm-hmm.
You go up with a DPE, right? I'm imagining it's like, oh, this is just a guy I don't know yet. It's a little nerve wracking,
Yeah.
and then also they don't have to have any real investment in like teaching you anything.
Mm-hmm.
And our CFIs are gonna have that investment, and they can't pass you if certain things go a certain way. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's enough of me rambling. I wanted to
That's all
ask
right.
you a little bit more about what made you want to begin flying in the first place. I mean, was it something like you always knew you wanted to do, or how did that go?
So my dad, he's a pilot. He flies for Delta Airlines, and before that, he was in the Air Force. And I kind of grew up around this lifestyle, and it was so normal to me that
Mm-hmm.
like I never really thought of it as like a career.
Mm-hmm.
And because like it was, oh, my dad's pilot. Like I never. Some people are like, oh, my dad, I want to be just like my dad. Like, of course, I look up to my dad. He's a great dude, but I never, on like the career aspect, never thought maybe I wanted to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Before this, I was a welder for maybe 3 years, like
Mm-hmm.
during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I was graduated high school, and my uncle owns a company, and he was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, "Nothing." He's like, "You want to come work?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure."
Yeah.
So then I went and did that, and I was making good money and like good enough to not quit. And then I just stuck with that, and I didn't go to college, and was doing that for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And after doing that for so long, and you know dying in the heat of Texas, and I was
Yes.
just like, I'm tired of this. And
Mm-hmm.
then I was like, why haven't I tried to go fly? Like that's so cool, and the lifestyle is great,
Yeah.
and he supported my family and I, no worries. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like that'd be the best thing. And
Yeah.
so, and I just bit the bullet, and I went to that first school, and like dipped my toes in the pool, and now we're here, and
Yeah.
and I'm going full through. So
Man, and sometimes you just got to get started before you really know, right?
yeah, oh definitely.
You kind of get to a place where, okay, it's hot. You're like, maybe I want to try something else. And maybe like that's when you compare the lifestyles, it's a little more attractive to become an airline pilot. Obviously, it's a difficult journey.
Yeah.
What kind of was the tipping point to where you're like, I'm gonna go ahead and make this decision? And then when you did, what did that decision look like?
So made the decision. I think it was like 107 degrees outside, or it was like super hot, and I was just miserable. And it's like I need to. And then I looked up, and I see a plane, and I thought of my dad, and I was like, I need to go try that. And then went and did it, and I had my discovery flight, and actually flying the plane, and it's like, dude, this is so fun, it's so cool. I could definitely see myself doing this, and I guess like that.
That's awesome, man. So, what was the first decision you made then?
I kind of just looked into flight schools in the area, and my younger sister goes to UT, and so I kind of wanted to be close to her just in case she needed anything. And that place up in Georgetown, I looked at all the ratings, and then a friend of my dad's son went through there at the Phoenix location,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a bunch of good things to say about it. And my dad was just like, "Hey, my friend's sons just went through this program. Sounded pretty nice. Like, why don't you go check it out?" So all right, let's go do that. So then I did, and it was a good experience and good training.
Yeah.
It was just a little too long of a wait on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the plane availability there was like, I want to say 200, 250 students, and there was only I think 12 planes, and then 3 of them were Seminoles. So there was only 9 Piper Archers for all the students. And if one was down for maintenance, if you were scheduled for that plane, you were just kind of pushed off until it was fixed, or because all of them are so scheduled so far out, like you couldn't, like here for example, like, oh, there's a plane open, like let's just go on that one instead. And it wasn't like that there, and so it would kind of just get pushed back, and wasn't as efficient as here.
You would think that maybe someone would find like an answer to some of those, or a solution to some of that, but I know it's not that easy either.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. I mean, planes aren't cheap.
Yeah.
So they're very expensive machines.
That program has a location in Phoenix and in Georgetown, and I think in Florida too, or something.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we just opened up in Phoenix. That's why I asked. We're on Falcon Field now. I think our first class is on the 25th of August. So that's pretty exciting. I just went out there, and they need to like renovate a lot of stuff, but it's set up to be able to take in students. We have some planes out there now. We got a simulator. our chief instructor Dylan Collins is out there. So we're kind of excited to be out there. It's really hot though.
Yeah.
Like it's hot
Yeah.
in Texas, but it's really hot out there.
Yeah, the difference though is it's dry heat out there versus humid heat here. So I'd almost rather be out there.
People say that, and it's I can never tell which one I like or hate more. I can say that you can feel it on your chest when you're out here in Texas. It's like, am I in a sauna? It feels like you're being in a sauna.
Yeah,
it's hard to breathe.
Yeah.
But well, hey, welcome to Texas.
Both are not pleasant, but
exactly.
I'd say that's a little less unpleasant.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. You can breathe at least. You get a little breeze every now and then. It cools down faster.
Yeah.
Okay, but you make that call, and you really liked flying. What was the first time you? I mean, when you were younger, did you ever get to be in a smaller plane, like a prop plane?
Yeah. My dad's best friend built his own RV4, and it's aerobatic, and we went up and ripped it in there a couple times, and that was super cool.
Yeah. So you already kind of knew that you liked that side of it. Okay.
Yeah.
I always like to ask about that because some people, they don't know they like flying until they take a discovery flight.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, and they sign up like a week later. So so you're from San Antonio, you're now in Dallas, and you're at Thrust, and you're working on your commercial. What's it like going through commercial right now? You're already ready for your check ride, it sounds like. So
yeah. Taking the hood off from instrument was very nice.
Yeah.
The maneuvers are all real cool, real fun. It's just nice to be able to see outside again. And this area is real pretty, especially like around downtown area. I went and did the downtown city lights tour not too long ago, and that was super fun.
Yeah.
All around and also training in the Bravo is really cool.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of my friends back from where I was, it was just a Delta airspace, and the closest busy airspace was Austin. And we never went over there. We never really had speaking with approach to, get cleared into the Bravo. But having to do that every flight is really, really good. And now I'm confident anywhere.
Do you feel like it affects your routine of your approach just by having to call it out?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, at what point do you have to, because you're in a Bravo, what does it change about your communication?
Oh, you're one, you can't mess up because you're talking with the big dogs like Southwest and Delta, big heavy guys, and also you don't want to embarrass yourself or embarrass Thrust by plus 544, and so you have to be on your game with that, and then you have to be way more aware. You always have to be aware, but especially in the Bravo with how busy it is in this area, you have to be very, very
proactive.
Yeah, proactive. You have to constantly know who's around you because there's so many people out here, and you just have to be very much aware of what's going on all the time. No distractions. Yeah,
I like that because people always talk about our airspace being a bit busier than what a lot of people get to train under, and for some people they're like, I just wish I could focus on the flying a little more. But a lot of other people say that they're grateful they got the experience of being underneath a Bravo as well.
Yep.
So that it makes a big difference. So now that you're in commercial, well, I have a couple questions really, but what's the most difficult part that you're finding about being in your commercial rating?
I guess picking good visual references for certain maneuvers.
Like you kind of pylons and things
like my original problem with AS on pylons is I would pick a point too far ahead of where I was needing to have it, and so whenever I'd bank over to do the ground reference maneuver, it just wouldn't be where it's supposed to be, and it would throw me off. And then same thing with Shondel's, like it is a visual maneuver, and I'd always forget to pick one, so I'd just kind of rip it off like cardinal headings, but you're supposed to pick a point, and after you get that down, it's easy, but I would constantly forget, I didn't pick a visual reference, and like on a stage check, they're like, yeah, it was good, but what was your visual point? I'm like, didn't pick one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Steep turns, Chris Burrows actually helped me a lot with my maneuvers. I was already like pretty good, but he fine-tuned them to where they were like just way better and way more easier, not so many factors. Like when you take certain factors out, it's just way more fluid, and it's great.
It kind of help like cancel out the noise and focus on what's important, right? I'm that way too. If someone can help me, I think I'm a little less of I need the specifics and a little bit more of like, don't pay attention to this.
Yeah.
Because I try to take into account too many things at once.
And that's when you take there's all those different things, you just kind of eliminate those by taking some steps beforehand. Makes it so much easier.
Right. It's the procedures too. So what kind of changed, or has it changed? What kind of changed your habits around picking a visual reference? Did it click yet?
Yeah, it's clicked. More so like there's the fuel cap right under on the wing. If you find a point that's pretty well versed underneath that, and then you wait like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and you bank, it's pretty close to where it needs to be, if not right on the money. And that was, whenever he told me that was good. And then,
is there something that like triggers you to remember to like check ahead of time and think ahead of time to look?
Yeah, like a lot of people bank and pick, and that's like can be good, but then if you bank and there's nothing there, then you kind of dug yourself into a hole. And so yeah, I guess I don't know. Just
yeah, it just started doing it. Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's good. That's good. I hadn't heard about the fuel cap lining up yet.
Yeah. You line it up just with the fuel cap, wait 3 seconds, and then bank. It's pretty much a beam with the center of the wing. So
yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Well, people who are training or are going to start training listen sometimes too. So if you guys hear that out and you try it out, let us know if it works out for you. That's a pretty cool tip. I want to go back to the fact that you like being able to look outside the plane again, and you're not having to rely solely on the instruments.
Yeah,
that's cool thing about being an instrument. A lot of people struggle with reverting back to using their sight picture.
Yeah.
I mean, did you feel that way?
Not really, because beforehand, my first instructor was big on just like feeling the plane, look outside, what do you see, and then after you analyze what you see, look back inside, and then what do you need to fix.
Right.
And that's kind of how I was taught, so was comfortable for me, not being able to do that, like power off 180s, for example. Like I just kind of look outside, find my aim point, and then let my airspeed catch me. I don't go down or pitch up, like whatever. I just hold my attitude, let my airspeed come down, and then I just go to my aim point, and then I just briefly check my altitude and my airspeed, and then it's
like for reference, right?
Yeah, just making sure you hold 76, and yeah.
I wonder if sometimes taking a little like, I wonder if sometimes the extra effort that goes into private really helps you not be too reliant on instruments once you get there. What were some of the steps that you had to take to actually get started in your flight training? I mean, was it difficult to get a medical? And if so, if not, either way, what did you have to do to get a medical? Did you just Google like medicals, things like that?
Okay.
Did you have to get financing and things?
Okay. I did go get a loan through. First, it was like Zoontify or something. You just it was pretty simple. Just make an account online. If you have a cosigner, give their information. It was pretty straightforward, not too bad. And then my medical, luckily, my dad has a guy, and so I just went to his guy, and it was pretty easy. But for somebody that doesn't have that connection, it's pretty easy. Just look up your AME near me, and it's pretty simple.
Yeah, book it.
Yeah, not too bad. And then actually going through and signing up with the program wasn't too bad. Just went out, had a discovery flight. Hey, how'd you like it? Is this something you think you could do? Yeah, for sure. Like, this is super fun. Like, okay, great. Get this loan, get your medical. Once you get cleared for both, then you can start. And it was pretty straightforward, pretty easy.
Was it a full-time program that you started in over there, right? So were you allowed or able to work?
Yes and no. Like, there were some people who did and got it cleared through the school, but it's a thing of like, hey, if you sign up for a 9-to-5 job and you have to fly at 11, you can't go to work. And so it was more so of like, yeah, you can find something if they're able to bend around your schedule. And that's how it was. And I worked at my gym, so like it was easy. And I just said, hey, I can't come fold the towels if I have to go fly. And they were just like, all right, no worries.
Yeah, they were chill about it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, because I like to ask that because obviously here at Thrust, we say, hey, you can't work. We want you to focus. And obviously it makes sense when you're like really all the way into something, but that's hard for some people.
Yeah, for some people, like you definitely need money. You need money for rent, food, whatever. But like it's doable if you can find something like DoorDash, even like listen to a podcast, while you're dashing, you can still be taking in the information you need to take in while making money. Like it's doable.
I hear some of the students, they've told me that they'll listen to either like a podcast or some of our informative videos in the car on the way to the school kind of thing.
I do it.
Yeah. So I'm that way too. I like to listen to things I'm trying to learn about on the way somewhere, especially if I need to get my brain going.
There's also a new crazy AI thing you can do to where you get your notes and you copy and paste it into that document, and then you can make a podcast with two robots talking to each other about whatever you're. So I do that sometimes too. And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just like make a fake podcast about aerodynamics, and I'm like, okay, and then you paste whatever your information is, and then it's two people talking about.
I can imagine that. That's pretty cool. I do this thing where I think recently I went into ChatGPT and I had it do deep research on something, which I had never really used that tool that many times. But now it'll take like, a good 10 minutes or something and bring up like I mean it's using really deep research and it'll have all its citations there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can click the little voice thing there. So it'll just read it to you like through the AI voice.
Yeah.
And if it's something I'm just really interested about and I can't find like a good source of my own, I'll do that just to kind of familiarize myself. So,
Yeah.
but I didn't think about the podcast thing. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's scary.
Some people
kinda.
are gonna listen to us and be like, "Oh, these guys are weirdos." But no, man. I mean, this is 2025. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it came time for you to switch schools. You did you have to take out another loan for that? You don't have to speak on it if you don't.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
So the company that I was originally using was not accepted or used by Thrust, so I did have to cancel that loan and pay off the sum that I used, and then get a Sally Mae. And honestly, it was the company we had to use here was way better than we got a way better interest rate than
really
the previous company.
To pay off that previous loan, were you able to use the part of the loan itself to pay it back, or were you having to just take an L there?
Just kind of, I guess, take an L, and whatever we used, we just have to pay that off.
Okay.
And
oh, I see what you're saying. Just use what you paid. Oh, what you used, you paid that off. Okay, that makes sense. Because but you weren't on the hook for the rest of the loan, right? Obviously, because you didn't use it. I just didn't know if the school was going to make it difficult on you, and some people have talked about that. It kind of
was hard to do that through like the other program, but we eventually got it taken care of, and we were all right.
That's good. I mean, if money's unused, it shouldn't be too difficult. So.
Yeah. We're pretty firm, hey, we didn't use this, we're not paying for it, and they're just like, yeah, you don't have to. So.
Okay, good. People have told me some difficult stories, but people don't always give you the whole story either. So I'm like, okay, I want to know what you did and how it worked out. But that being said, we have the Finish Line program here at Thrust Flight, and I mean, just for the listeners and the viewers, all that is a way that Thrust Flight allows other people to join our program when they were previously at another program, and we make that transition as smooth as possible, and we call it the Finish Line program. Now, you went through the Finish Line program to solve your problem, right? You didn't want to wait as long as you wanted to, as they were asking you to. And so you joined our program. Can you tell me a little bit about what that's like? Because there's things that want to stop you, right? Like, will my hours transfer? And, do I know how to use y'all's avionics? And what about the loan and stuff like that? So can you tell me a little bit about some of the things you were worried about in transferring schools?
So the avionics thing you said, transferring from the 6-pack to the G1000, whole lot more moving parts and buttons and lights, and that was kind of a little stressful at first, but after you pick it up, like, it's very, very nice and very efficient and easy. Well, not easy, but like, it's just so much more capabilities than just a couple gauges on your dash.
Right, a couple of circles.
Yeah. So that took maybe 7 or 8 flights to get completely down and confident with, but now it's normal. The hours I was a little concerned about, just like, hey, I already did all this stuff, like, is that going to transfer over all of it? And I think half of it, you get credit for half of it, but you still, for the curriculum here, need to build some time in our plans for our program. So I did do that, and I think it was only like 18 hours or something, 20.
That did transfer?
Because in the instrument program, it's like, I can't remember the ACS, but it was like, just, you can use half of that and do the other half here. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. And did that. Also, that being said, I got familiar with the new avionics. I got more hours. Everybody needs hours. So at the end of the day, it was fine. And then the loan, that was pretty simple. Like, just call the company, tell them we're not using it anymore, pay off what we used, and then reapplying for the new Sally Mae was easy. And for the most part, it was very smooth transition.
I haven't talked to a lot of people. I haven't talked to many of the Finish Line students yet. I mean, it's a fairly new way of entering our program, but that's why I like to ask those questions. You mentioned the hours. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's 50, maybe even as low as 25% of the hours that you had do transfer over to our program. Not all of them, which is something I didn't know that at first. So if you're listening, that's something to take into account. But you do also have to meet some sort of minimum. Do you remember what that was? Did they say that to you?
The minimum for the rating?
Yeah, there's a minimum for being able to transfer over. Like, we're not going to take someone who's a new pilot, Like, we don't want to take someone in for our finish line program who is still really new and is pretty far away from there. We like to take people in who are ready for their check ride and just need a few extra touches and then get you guys moving on so you don't have to wait. If you're still a pretty new pilot, then you're just going to have to start from the beginning. So anyways, we have a minimum hour requirement for transferring over, and if you meet that requirement, then a percentage of those hours do get to transfer.
That's exactly what it was. I can't remember the number of the minimum, but they audited my logbook and it's like, yep, this is what we can use. This is unfortunately what we can't use. And
Okay, cool. I like to put that information out there because I'm still learning it too. It's a new program. Okay, so after you came here though, I'm trying to remember. You were in your instrument when you came here?
Yeah.
Okay, and how much longer did it take to get your instrument after you came here?
When I came here, it took, I think, 3 weeks. Okay. Less than a month. I came here April 10th, and I got my rating June 5th, I want to say. And then I started commercial like June, like a week later or something. And yeah, very very straightforward.
Awesome.
Because I had to do stage 3 check with instrument, and then I had to do my ELC and just a couple of training flights in between of those, and then I had to do that was one thing that was kind of messy, not messy, but like my ground hours didn't transfer, so I had to go and do instrument ground again because the way my previous place logged it wasn't if like capable, I guess is the word. What couldn't transfer because they didn't have each lesson that you're learning for the criteria needed to be met for the instrument rating. So I had to do ground over. So that added a little bit of time to the total instrument time. But if I didn't have to do the ground, it would have been a lot significant, like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And but I had to do the ground over. So
okay, that makes sense. Because we were really serious about the way we had the curriculum broken down. We're actually working on like an entire like learning module, videos, flight videos and ground videos to kind of go through every single rating as another touch point. It's something we've been working on with our team. And so I get to see like all the breakdowns of the lessons. So I'm imagining that's probably what they weren't showing, I guess. But okay, so I want to ask then, maybe since you've been through some of these steps and you've been through some of the pain points that it seems like some people are going through. Let's say that someone's finding themselves in a position to not want to wait as long as they're having to wait for a check ride, whether it be because of DPEs or the school or the planes or the proficiency, that sort of stuff. What do you have any recommendations for someone in that position? Maybe it's to switch schools, maybe it's not. Like, what do you do at first? Because I don't think this was your first solution. Probably.
I definitely looked at my options on places to go because I'm not tied down to Texas. Okay. And I don't have any kids or anything. Like I'm go wherever I need to go. Right. And then like my buddies were up here and they just said, "Dude, come try this," and I bit that bullet. Yeah. But for somebody that's like obviously experiencing the long wait times, definitely stay up on your ground because that would just go right out. Yeah. And if you have the means to rent, like you're a private pilot, like if you're in that situation, you're a private pilot, and if you have any buddies that have a plane or have access to a plane, they're in a flying club or something, like go spend $100 an hour, $120 an hour to go fly. Like definitely do that. Yeah. Just try and stay sharp because you get rusty, and everybody gets rusty. So staying proficient is important.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and then as far as transferring schools, then is there anything there that in hindsight you're like, okay, these are the things that someone might need to know? We might have covered some of it, but any tips for someone who is interested in changing schools all the way from looking into schools?
One thing that I could have made easier was to have an electronic logbook. It's I even hear some of my compadres here like I'm at 1,000 hours and I haven't been caught up on my electronics, so it's going to take weeks to get that inputted. But if you're at our level where you're at like 100, 200 hours, you're just do it. It's so much easier for DPEs. For if you do want to switch, you can just be like, oh, here you go, and then it's just doop doop doop. Oh, you're good. Instead of having to go through and read your whole logbook, which isn't terrible, but if you can make their life a little bit easier, it'll make your life a little bit easier. Electronic logbook. If you are going to transfer a program, see what we talked about, like what is going to transfer and what criteria needs to be met, like ground hours, like ground school, flight hours, all that stuff. Kind of have a good idea of what you have under your belt, so you can just present it to them. And in that electronic logbook, it does that all. So that's really good. You should do that.
Yeah.
And then the loan. Just look at your contract or speak to the finance program of your program. Just say, hey, what am I going to have to pay off? If I want to transfer, tell me some steps I need to take. And then obviously the area, if you're going to go somewhere, make sure that that place is somewhere you would enjoy, because you're flying and that's your life, but when you're at home, and because you do need to remove yourself from aviation just to stay sane. So if the area is nice, definitely check that out. And and Dallas, great area.
We're in Addison, Texas, and Addison's, I mean, you don't really, I mean, you kind of need a car in Texas, but you can get away without having a car in Addison, Texas. You got everything you need around here, so it's pretty cool. And Phoenix is kind of nice too, although we're out in Falcon Field. It's a little further out from Phoenix because it's in Mesa. It's like on the outskirts, but Phoenix is actually pretty cool when I was out there. So check out the areas. We actually made some videos for the Conroe location and the Addison location, saying, hey, here's like some of the things around. We had a good time kind of eating out and saying, hey, there's food and there's restaurants and stuff. But those are good pieces of advice. That's good information, because when we first announced the program, we had a lot of questions about it. And at the time, I was still kind of gaining that information to share. We've worked it out a little bit more, and I think those are some of the things that people want to know. Now that you're here, though, you're not like staying in student housing, are you?
No.
Right, because you're from here. Okay, gotcha. There was one other question I wanted to ask you about them. Oh, you mentioned like kind of the idea of needing to stepping away from aviation every now and then to stay sane. What does that kind of look like though? Because you're so in there, and then there's like, okay, let me think about.
You need to take a breather. You definitely need to take a breather. Because like it's much hard. You got to give your brain a break. And like for me, for example, like I don't know, like work out, go on runs, like do stuff outside. Plenty of stuff to do around here. Like there's a lot of. It's a stressful thing. Like it's you have to be on your game, and stress is a big important thing when you're going to go fly. If you're stressed out about something, you probably shouldn't go fly. That's part of a checklist you follow to make sure you're okay to fly. And if you have debilitating stress from a check ride coming up, just be like, hey, sorry, I shouldn't fly. Like I won't be on my game. And to not be stressed, you got to find outlets to go dissipate the stress. And that's just super important.
That makes sense. Do you do anything outside of flying? Do you have things that you still like to do?
I like to cook. I like to work out. Me and my little sister, we rock climb.
That's awesome.
That's fun.
We have some good gyms out here.
Nice,
I don't climb, but my friends do.
Nice bouldering gyms out here. It's pretty.
It's good.
Just active person, I guess.
I like that. I feel like movement is really like my therapy a little bit. I like to move around. I'll just go and walk sometimes. I just need to walk.
Heck yeah. That's this area too for walking. Like that one little park. I don't know the name of it.
Oh, Addison Park, right? Addison Circle Park. I mean, that's like the heart of Addison. Really, Addison Circle is.
Nice.
And I love that park.
Yeah.
We used to have offices over at the FBO, and we're right up the street now, right? But so we're not that far. But I used to like need to come up with some things. I used to kind of have to clear my mind. So I'll take a couple of laps around the park and then come back in and get right back to work. It was really nice.
Yeah, just refreshing.
It's a little hot right now, but
they
got restaurants over there too. It's kind of cool. I'm curious. What do you like to cook?
I mean, I like various pastas. I've been on like a stir fry kick lately. Just kind of make a protein, like ground beef or chicken, and some nice veggies on that. A little bed of rice underneath, or make a good risotto. I
mean, it's a little off topic, but I'm just curious. Like, are you watching YouTube videos? Are you looking at ChatGPT?
YouTube videos. My dad, me and him kind of have competitions with my family. Like, who's gonna make it better type thing. Lemon chicken piccata. That's really good.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So my little sister, we call her the Russian judge, and if you can get a 10 from her, it was really good.
Oh, you're solid. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Man, I find every corner to cut to try to not eat the same thing every day without having to cook. So I go to Trader Joe's a lot, and I just do a lot of cheat codes, and I'll mix things with rice or with bread, or I just get a little protein, a little bit of carbs, and some frozen veggies. I'll season them or something. So I'll do what I got to do.
Easy.
But maybe I'll.
That's actually what this is from. I cut my finger and I was cutting an onion. So
man,
yesterday.
That sucks. Do onions hurt when they get in your cut?
Oh, it was honestly stung pretty bad, but it was all right. got complacent. Don't get complacent with flying and with cooking.
Yeah,
I just cut my finger.
That's a good comparison there.
Yeah.
It helps you, it helps you check back in.
Yeah.
What's your vision? Do you have a goal? Is there an airline? Is there a city that you kind of want to go to? Is there a lifestyle?
Yeah, for sure. So after I finish my training here, I'm gonna hopefully get a job with Thrust, being an instructor. Mm-hmm. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to do online school and finish my degree because I do have some college hours. Mm-hmm. And I'll finish my degree, and I'm gonna enlist in the Coast Guard or National Guard.
Okay.
And fly reserves for them. Go fly some cool big birds or fighters, whatever they need me to, on government dollar. Because the way hiring is right now, like military pilots are, they know you'll show up on time, you're a hard worker, you're cut out, you're cut out how you're supposed to be.
Right.
And so that looks great in your resume. It'd be really fun.
You can get a job flying.
Yeah. My dad's great stories, great friends, great memories from his military time. So I'm definitely on board for that. So I'll enlist after I finish my degree, and I'll already have experience. I'll just be like, hey, I'm already a pilot. I've just finished my degree. I'm going to rush a guard unit and hopefully fly C-17s or C-5s or something big. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I'm going to try and fly for Delta. And my dad's got 8 more years till he has to retire. So the goal is to fly a trip together before he does that.
In there, man.
Yeah. So Delta Airlines is where I want to be.
Gotcha. That sounds like a beautiful vision. Sometimes I ask people and they're like, "Oh, I'm just kind of going with the flow." But you have a good idea. So I like that.
That's another tip, I guess. It's always important to have a plan, and it's okay if the plan changes, but you need to be working towards something, especially in this. You can just go with the flow, but if you have a picture in mind, you can work towards something. That is very, very important.
Yeah. Well, then on that note, what does it look like a day so far at Thrust? You've been here for a little while now. Mm-hmm. What does like a daily life look like? And maybe it's not the same every day, but if someone's like, I don't know what I'm going to be doing from day to day, what would you tell them?
So for the most part, a big thing about Thrust is your writtens. You can't participate in anything until you have your writtens complete. Mm-hmm. And I am now doing Shepherd Air for my FIA and FOI for CFI that's coming up, and be proactive on that. And I'm a big flashcard guy, and I just kind of have them on me. They're in my car, like just rip out the flashcards before I go do something. Mm-hmm. Obviously we fly almost every day, so that's great. Practice your checklist flows, your emergency flows, because emergencies aren't common, but if they do, you need to know exactly what you do. And I'm a big chair flyer guy, like engine failure, boop 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 boop.
Right, and
then you check, make sure you did it right, and boom. So then you're good. Yeah. So checklist flows, flashcards. That's pretty much. And then I go to school, try and get there hour and a half early. Just kind of review what I'm gonna do, and then go on my flight. And then afterwards, I take I ask for they give thorough debriefs, but I take notes every flight, and I have a little book. And anytime I make a mistake or I could have done something better, when they tell me that, it's not just like, okay, I'll do that better next time. I write it down in a little book, and then before every flight, I look at the last flight and like, okay, need to make sure I take the power out a little easier on the transition into a steep turn, or from a steep turn, or when I'm recovering from a stall, like do A and B better, or like just stuff like that. And
because I like that, because it's like a feedback loop, but you're not just leaving it in limbo. You're writing it down so that you can refer to it, because I think a lot of times, I think the best way to study is to study the things that you are struggling with, obviously. But it sounds obvious, but it's not what you always do unless you're intentional about it.
Yeah, I was taught that if you read it, or if you write it, read it, and speak it, it'll stick in your brain a lot better. And if you just hear it, it's not go one ear out the other. Right. So okay, write it, read it, speak it, you'll be all right.
That makes sense. And that's because just to recap, like that's kind of like a day and what you can expect. When do you do ground courses?
You do them in the beginning of each rating.
Okay.
And with CFI coming up, I'll have CFI Academy in the beginning of September, and I think it's 2 weeks, I want to say. And then after that, it's just flying and ground knowledge test examinations, and
And did y'all have ground courses at your previous school? Okay, gotcha. Because a lot of people say that, they kind of just gave us some information, told us to study. So.
Yeah, I've heard some things like that too. Like they'll just give you a ground course you do at home type thing. But the place where I was, we had the same thing like here. You go into a classroom and
Awesome. Yeah, we have some pretty good instructors too. I don't
Oh
know if
yeah,
you've gotten to work
great
with
ground
Alex
instructor.
Rosda yet, but Alex knows everything. It
Yeah,
seems
he
like.
was the one that did my stage 3 check on commercial.
Okay,
He's
sweet.
great guy.
Oh yeah, so that means he's the one who kind of grilled you a little bit, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
him and Burroughs both, they grilled me, and they got me right. They got me right.
Yeah. So anyone who has anything about EOCs or in-house check rides, just know that it might be even a little harder than your average DPE.
Yeah,
So,
they went into pretty deep detail, and it'll definitely, you'll learn something.
yeah, awesome. Well, hey, if there, do you have any other things that you would want, like, you've come in here and you've really got your feet on the ground. It seems like you're pretty focused and you have an idea of what you want for yourself. Um, is there anything that you sort of wish you knew or that you would want someone else to know before they started flight training?
Um, I'd say it's so difficult because there's so many things.
Right.
I wish I took studying in the beginning a little bit more serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like weather, for example. Like you're always going to be asked about weather,
Mm-hmm.
and just be very sharp on your weather theory and whatnot.
Right.
Take that very seriously and really dig deep into it, because you can get dug into some holes on some check rides.
Right.
I guess chair flying in the beginning. Like in private, I didn't really do it, and then like you'd get alternator failure. What's your checklist? And you're like,
Yeah.
And if you have it down, then it's good. So
Mm-hmm.
more chair flying, and then I guess like on those stage checks and those check rides, like it's just another opportunity to excel, and don't go into it with that stress of like, oh my god, I'm being examined. Like it's just another guy next to you who wants you to do good.
Mm-hmm.
So don't freak out, and don't, yeah, they're evaluating you, but they want you to pass. They don't want to have to fail you, because then that'll make them feel like a bad guy. You know, they're not there to trick you. They're not there to fail you. They're there to just make sure you're not gonna kill yourself or other people.
Right.
Like that's all it is.
Yeah.
So that's one big thing. The check ride or stage check is just another opportunity to excel. Mm-hmm. Don't freak out. And then once I kind of let that click, like just stay calm, cool, and collected, and it'll be all right. It's just another flight. You know what you're doing. So
yeah,
this is what you've been training for. So
all right, man. Well, I appreciate you joining in with us today.
Yeah.
It was really nice talking to you and getting to know you. I'll have to come see you guys over at the school
for sure.
And I'm sure I'll see you around over there.
Yeah.
But you've shared lots of great things with us. I really hope that our listeners and viewers have been enjoying it. If you guys are still listening or still watching, I'm sure that you have enjoyed it, and that means you should probably go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Again, it really helps us out. And we keep an eye on the comments, so if you guys have any questions, we'll get right back with you. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of Pilots Say What, where we get to hear what pilots have to say. Thank you, Nicholas, for joining us.